Good evening. We're here at the Public Affairs Console here in the Space Shuttle Flight Control Room. Our continuing coverage of the STS-132 mission. During this pre-sleep period, we're taking advantage of the opportunity to talk to various members of the flight control team, hear a little bit about their background and their path to working at NASA. Joining us now is Ken Smith, who is the MACS officer here for the Orbit 3 team. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the MACS position? What does that entail?
Okay, it's a big, long, convoluted acronym. We cover a whole lot of systems: mechanical, doors, hatches, latches, the docking system, landing gear, wheels and tires, also crew systems, photo TV, and in-flight maintenance are just some of the ones, along with the auxiliary power units and the hydraulic systems. So we're a real diverse group, and we cover a whole lot of systems.
How far in advance of a mission do you start working?
Actually, we pick up about 6 months or so. We have an advantage over a lot of the groups in that our systems are fairly consistent from flight to flight, so we don't have a huge amount of flight-specific planning. One flight tends to look a lot like another one with respect to our systems.
And what kind of backroom team support do you have?
On orbit, we have a mechanical systems operator and in-flight maintenance operator in the back room with me. As an entry, we tend to shift over. We do have a mech and a mech 2 assistant position there, and then escape is also one of our console responsibilities, so we have an escape operator in the back for accident entry.
When you were describing the position, it certainly covers a lot of different areas. Tell us about what kind of background you have to have to be a MACS officer and how you evolved to this position.
Okay, you have to be a real generalist to work the position. I'm a aerospace engineer by degree, but work mechanical throughout all my career here. So you have to be able to really put together the electrical, the mechanical side of it, motors, gear train. You have to be able to work hydraulics, fluid, along with the other crew systems. So you have to be able to integrate a huge amount of diverse systems. So you have to be able to take a real big picture on a lot of systems.
And tell us about your background. Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? How did you get prepared for this?
Okay. I grew up all over the East Coast, pretty much, Northeast, and also down in Atlanta. I attended Georgia Tech, graduated with a degree in aerospace engineering. And then I started actually working for NASA down at Kennedy Space Center before I transferred out here to JSC.
How long ago was that?
That's 13 years now.
And what did you do at Kennedy Space Center?
I worked full-time as a solid rocket booster mechanical. So we were the ones who got the booster segments in from Utah, from the plant out there, inspected them, assembled them, and got them ready to fly. Throughout school, I had co-opted with various groups in the mechanical systems division with crew systems, mechanisms, launch accessories. So I was exposed to a broad background of systems out there for vehicle processing.
On this flight, what are kind of the main milestones that MACS supports?
Okay. The big milestones for us after ascent and post-insertion, we're really on orbit supporting a lot of the docking is our big thing. We were responsible for the docking system. So docking and then with it undocking. While we're docked to station, we're also responsible for the latches that hold the payloads into the payload base. When we unberthed the ICC and the MRM from the payload bay and the arms lifted them out, we were responsible for the latches that hold them into the payload bay there. So those are the biggest things for us on orbit there. Once we undock, we also are a big player in FCS checkout, flight control system checkout. We actually start up one of our APUs and get hydraulic systems out, systems awake and out to everything, all the actuators, and they run through all the checks. So that's another one of our big activities.
What do you find is the most challenging aspect of your job?
The most challenging is falls into the diversity. You're never working the same thing twice. Every flight, it's always something different with respect to either failure or what you're being asked to accommodate and work. Conversely, that's also some of the one of the most enjoyable parts of the job. It's never the same thing twice.
That was going to be my next question, is what you like the most.
Yeah, it's definitely the challenge of being able to apply your training, because you can't train for everything. You train for a skill set rather than a scenario. And so it's applying your training to the specific, the general training to the specific problem that you have.
So you're rather unique. You've worked at Kennedy Space Center and Johnson Space Center. What do you love the most about working for NASA?
Human spaceflight. I grew up watching, NASA missions. First one, the thing I can remember is Apollo Soyuz way back when. So I enjoy the fact that what I'm doing is helping to advance humanity. We're taking, the baby steps off the planet here and slowly working out. And so the challenge of that and being a part of that is a really big part of the job that attracted me.
This attracted you and many others. Again, Ken Smith, just one of the officers here in the shuttle flight control room, part of the team supporting the mission.